Yo, what up, niggas? It's your boy Fluxco here, and if you want to see the extended version of his racist rant, you can check it out right here. I'm actually watching the racist rant right now because I want to watch it live and I want to be proved wrong that this guy will say he's racist. He's not on the phone. So all of you thought he was being careful because he was on the phone. This part he's not on the phone. Maybe the last part he was on the phone, maybe. But this part he's not on the phone. He's at her house. She's giving him juice. So I'm going to watch this and let you guys know what I read that's interesting. And I'm going to let you know the bullshit people are going to say about him, which isn't true based on the things he's saying, but what they're going to make it try to look like he is saying, but he's not saying it. So let me just kill 3 things that people say about him from what he said that isn't true. He never said he didn't want black people at his games. He told the girl not to bring black people or not to bring Magic Johnson, he's black, to the games. And why did he say that? It's the culture. He doesn't want her to be seen with the black person, with black people. But he said she can do it if she wants. He doesn't care. And that was live. He said that. Not on the phone, to be careful. It was live. Then there's a lot of talking in the background of this one. Another thing he said, there's another thing people are complaining about. They said he doesn't have a problem with black people at his games. He doesn't want to be with her. He never said anything bad about Magic Johnson. He said Magic Johnson deserved to be praised. And that's really it. He never said black people were the enemy. He said she was his enemy because she doesn't understand him. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I don't know how this conversation... The first half of it is nothing new. He's just like, oh, bitch. He didn't say bitch. He's like, oh, you keep fighting. You're always fighting with me. You're a fighter. Which he isn't. He's not a fighter. I've been saying that since the beginning. I'm leaving my videos up there. Because everything I'm saying about this guy, through this part of the audio, which proves he's not on the phone being careful, everything I said about him, he's saying again. Watch. Here you go, honey, a little bit of juice. He's like, thank you. He's drinking juice because he's like, he's fucking tight or whatever. And they're gonna get to talking some more. And you know, he's kind of a little bit calm, but he's still upset. She said, I did remove all the people independently, all the black people from my Instagram. He said, you said you did that before. They said, then why did you start saying you didn't? You just said that you didn't remove them. You didn't remove every black person. She said, I didn't remove Matt Kemp, I don't know what that is, or Magic Johnson. I thought Matt Kemp is mixed, and he was okay, just like me. He goes, okay. He's lighter and whiter than me. Okay. And then she goes, I met his mother. Okay. You think I'm racist? He says, you think I'm racist. Why, if this man was racist, why is he defending himself from looking racist? He's already saying some pretty fucked up shit. Why would he waste his time defending himself if this is honestly how he really felt? Why would he just say, yeah, I'm racist, it's a part of my culture? Why would he deny it and say, I'm not racist? Why would he say that? He's not on the phone. Why would he say that? He's being open and honest to this girl about things that he rarely ever says to other people, because this isn't something you just tell anybody. He obviously really cares for this woman, and he's telling her these things. Why would he bother to say, I'm not racist? Why would he bother to say, you think I'm racist? Why would he bother to say, you think I'm racist? Why would he bother saying that? Keep going. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And she goes, I don't think you're racist. She says, I don't think you're racist. And she goes, what I've been saying before, everyone wants to talk shit. But once again, she says, I don't think so. I think you have an amazing heart, honey. I think that people around you have poisoned mind and have a way of thinking. Is that not what I've been saying from the start? Is that not what I've been saying from the start? This is his ex-girlfriend saying this. And the only reason she released this video is because she's being sued, by the way. But why would she say that herself? This is, people, these are her words. I don't think you're racist. Because you know what she's doing? She knows that even though he's not racist, just the simple fact that he's not fighting against this racist culture and that he's in this culture, that he'll be looked at as racist, and she has ammunition against him. She knows he has a good heart. She knows he's not racist, but she knows his culture is. This is an extremely intelligent, deceptive woman here, people. Very intelligent, very deceptive. But I'll get to that afterwards. Okay. So she says that, and it keeps going. Blah, 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 blah. Evil heart, blah, blah, blah. Is this shit playing or what? Okay. He says, it's the world. You go to Israel. The blacks are just treated like dogs. He did not compare black people to dogs. He said in Israel, the blacks are treated like dogs. He did not compare blacks to dogs. Listen to what he's saying and not what you think he's saying. To continue, it's the world to go to Israel, the blacks are treated like dogs, which is kind of true from what I see. And then she says, so do you have to treat them like that too? He kind of doesn't answer that because he was speaking. Then he goes, the white Jews. There's white Jews and black Jews. Do you understand? He's still talking about Israel. And are the black Jews less than the white Jews? 100%. 50, 100%. Now, he's not, and she says, is that right? And he answers, it isn't a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. He, once again, does not say anything about how he personally feels. He's speaking about how it is. How it is in a... He keeps talking about the world, but he knows it's not the world. Like I said, he's defending somebody. If it's Israel or Jewish people, look, I'm not racist, people. I'm not trying to say Jews, but that's what it looks like to me. Now that he mentioned Israel, that's what it's looking like to me. Like he's defending some real powerful Jews or something who have this no black people policy unless it's business. That's what it's sounding like to me. I mean, come on. It isn't a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. He's yet to say anything personal about his feelings. No, he does. When he speaks about himself personally, he says he's not racist. He has no problem. It's the culture. Then he goes straight to Israel as his first example. Just saying. He goes straight to Israel. People, listen to this man. We could learn a lot from him. When we find out who these people are specifically that he's talking about in this culture, we could really find out some scary shit. But people are so busy attacking him instead of going after the people who make him nervous, the people who lead this culture. If we went after those people, we'd get a lot more done in this world. It's the people who make him feel this way, not him. Trust me on this. All right, let's keep going. It isn't crazy about what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. Come on now. Talk faster. Because I'm reading it and it's going kind of slow. Okay. But we shouldn't take a stand. This is her. We shouldn't take a stand for what's wrong and be the change and be the difference. But he, like I said from the start, he's a bitch ass nigga. I don't want to change the culture because I can't. It's too big. I don't want to change the culture because I can't. Not because I don't want to, because I like it. I don't want to change the culture because I can't. It's too big. That's what I was saying. Big, I bet you these are people who do business with him. I bet you these are people who do business with him. You know what's funny? All these people always talk about the Illuminati, all this stuff. This is the first evidence that I've ever seen anything of an Illuminati. This shit right here, this rich, powerful Jewish man is scared as fuck of some people out there who are in his head. And these people are obviously as powerful or more powerful than him. He's scared as fuck. He's not being careful. He's being open with this woman. He's not being careful. He hasn't said anything negative about black people from his view. Not once. 15 minutes worth. Are you not seeing this? It's people outside. And he's accepting it because he's like, alright, cool. Because he doesn't want to get fucked up in whatever way it could happen. I don't want to change because the culture, because I can't. It's too big and too something. But you can change yourself. I don't want to change. If my girl can't do what I want, I don't want the girl. I find a girl that will do what I want. Believe me, I thought you were the girl because I tried to do what you want, but you're not that girl. Now, when he says I don't want to change, what he means by that is he doesn't want to change the culture. And he doesn't want to change himself because it's going to interrupt the culture. He hasn't yet said one thing blatantly, one thing even close to disrespecting black people. Not even. He doesn't want to change because he doesn't want to get fucked up by this culture. And you know what? She understands that. But she's egging him on because she needs evidence against him. This lady's unbelievable. Try blah blah blah, but you're not that girl, blah 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 blah. Keep going, come on, people watching the video. But anyway, today the weather's alright, you know. Weather's alright, feel me? Jesus, come on, people. God damn. Well, I just up there. How long did he say this shit? There's no need to get upset, she said. She goes, I just see what I'm living with, what I'm dealing with. Then she goes, I'm sorry, I didn't do anything. You never do anything. You never do anything wrong, he tells her. But I didn't do anything. You upset me. You made me crazy. You made yourself upset. No, that's not true. You didn't start off by saying, honey, understand we're living in a culture and we can't. And she cuts him off. But once again, no, that's not true. You didn't start off by saying, honey, I understand. We're living in a culture. He once again goes back to this culture. Nothing about his personal feelings. But then she goes on to say, because I don't understand. I don't see your views. I wasn't raised the way you were raised. I feel that. Understand that. Blah, 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 blah. Well, then if you don't feel, don't come to my games. Don't bring black people and don't come. Now, he's not saying he doesn't want black people at his games. He doesn't want her, his girlfriend, that people know he's dating, bringing black people to his game because one, it will embarrass the fuck out of him, and two, people are going to talk shit in his culture about him. And these are powerful people, remember, okay? We feel that way, don't come to my games, don't bring black people, and don't come. You just, do I know? I don't know what he means by that, but, oh, he was stuttering. You just, do I know? I support them and give them food. Oh, she was talking about you have black people on your team. Then he says this. This is kind of a bad part. I went front. He goes, you just, do I know? I support them. I give them food, clothes, cars, and houses. Who gives it to them? Does someone else give it to them? Do I know that I have? Who makes the game? Do I make the game or do they make the game? Is there 30 owners that created the league? All right. That part right there, he fucked up. Now, out of anything he's ever said, this part right here I see is fucked up. I don't see it as racist. I don't see it as pure racism. Like he sees them as less. But his wording here is fucked up. Because he says, I give them food. Come on, dog. They're your workers. I can't see eye to eye with him on this one. I support them and give them food and clothes and cars and houses. Who gives it to them? That's something a slave master would say. That's something a slave master would say. You know, I see that one. That's something a slave master would say. Now, it could be fucked up wording, but either way, you don't say it like that. I give them food and clothes and cars and houses. That's fucked up. She should have let him finish because he's going on to say, do I make the game or do they make the game? He should have answered that question. He should have answered that question. But that one's kind of fucked up. Do I see that line as racist? So far, this is the most racist thing this guy has ever said. Everything else was nothing racist, but this is from his view. See, right now he's not speaking about a culture. He's speaking about himself when he's saying this. And from what he's saying, that's a little iffy. We'll come back to that, but that's a little iffy. I'll get on it. Okay. Do I make the game or do they make the game? Is there 30 owners that create the league? Alright, we move on. I'm going to start fast forwarding. There's no fast forward option. Then after that she goes on to say, I'm not going to bring any black people to the stadium. Okay, that's what he wants. Is it easy to say that? He asks. It's very easy for you to say that. He goes, for you to say that. I won't say to anyone ever, I will never ask anyone to not bring someone based on their race or color. And he says, okay. Or culture. Okay. It's just like saying, let's persecute and kill all the Jews. People, and he goes, oh, it's the same thing, right? People, stop exaggerating. Stop exaggerating. This guy right now he's speaking about everything. He's speaking about himself. He's speaking about his culture. He never mentioned anything about trying to harm black people or even his culture trying to harm black people. Everything I see right now is basically his culture just don't want to be involved with black people because they don't like them. His culture, I don't know if it's a Jewish thing, whatever it may be, but whatever it is, they don't like black people. And unfortunately, nobody has to fucking like you. They just have to respect you. They're not robbing black people. He didn't mention they're robbing black people. He didn't mention anything like we're going to kick black people out of their homes. He's not talking about them doing anything negative to black people. He's like, we don't associate. He's basically saying we don't associate with black people in public if it's not business, especially our women. Our women are not allowed to associate with black people. That's what they're saying. So basically, if a man were to tell his daughter, look, I love you, but I don't want you dating black people, is he Hitler? No. He's not Hitler. He's nothing like it. If he doesn't fucking want his daughter dating black people, she has to wait till she's an adult to do what she wants. Now, if she grows up and she's dating a black guy and he goes and tries to beat up the black guy or harm the black guy, then he's Hitler because he's taking it to another direction. He's turning it to a violent direction. He's trying to negatively affect this black man. But if he's just not happy with it, but he respects it and he leaves it alone, it's fine. Nobody has to like you. Get it through your heads. Nobody has to fucking like you. That's what I'm seeing mostly here. It's obvious that his culture doesn't like black people and he accepts it. Everyone's getting down his throat. No one has to fucking like you. They just have to respect you, people. There'll never be a law, at least I think, there'll never be a law saying you have to like everybody. Fuck that. You like who you want to like, but you respect everybody. If you don't want to sit next to a black person, if you don't want to hold the black person's hand, if you don't want to walk down the street next to a black person on Instagram, you don't fucking have to. But you have to respect that person. You don't stab that person. You don't kidnap that person. You don't spread lies about that person. You leave them the fuck alone. And you go on about your life. That's how it is. And that's basically the end of this. He's like, oh, it's the same thing, right? And she's like, blah, blah, blah. That's basically the end. I don't remember anything else big. She's like, is there something wrong? What is wrong with it, with the Holocaust? And you're Jewish. You understand discrimination. You're a mental case. You're really a mental case. The Holocaust, we're comparing it with this, which I agree with. There's a humongous difference. Racism, discrimination. Look, the Holocaust wasn't about racism and discrimination. It was about prejudice. It was about being prejudiced and negatively affecting another people because of their race. Attacking. Disrespecting. Physically. There's a humongous difference. There's a humongous difference. Now, let's put it this way. Let's say the Jews were to make a law saying black people have to be over there, Jews are allowed to be over here. That's different. Because what happens is when you separate people like this, in general, when they don't have a choice, that's racism or prejudice. Because you're telling them what they can't do in general. You don't have to walk next to anybody you don't want to walk next to. I mean, if you're in the street, you walk next to somebody, fine. But you don't have to be friends with anybody you don't have to be friends with. But you're not allowed to keep people, especially from a public area, just because of how you feel about them. So if he were to say something like, we don't want these people in our neighborhoods, that's racist. If he were to say something like, we don't want black people in our stadium, that's racist. But he's saying nothing of the kind. I'm trying my best to explain this. Then he goes, there's no racism here. If you don't want to be walking into a basketball game with a certain type of person, is that racism? I don't think that's racist. If somebody doesn't want to go to a basketball game with a black person, they don't fucking have to. We always talk about freedom. How come people don't have the freedom to not like you? That's the next video. I'm out. Later.